Wow, that was a great day at the gun range today, Cliff.
You know, that was a good day. Say, Carol, did you have a chance to clean your revolver yet?
Well, I never even thought of that.
You know, gun maintenance is an important part of responsible gun ownership. Why don't we meet in the kitchen and I'll give you a few pointers?
That would be so helpful.
Great. Okay, when cleaning a revolver or any gun, the first and most important thing to do is to make sure that it's not loaded. So we pick it up, we open the cylinder, and check each of the cylinders and see that they're all empty. So we know that the gun is unloaded. The first thing that we're going to want to do is loosen some of the debris in the bore. And the way we do that is we get some gun solvent.
What?
I like Hoppy's number 9.
I never knew there was so much ingredients involved in cleaning a gun.
There are quite a few ingredients, Carol. The first thing we'll do is we'll put on our bore brush on the end of our rod, our pistol cleaning rod, and then put some solvent on it. Are you familiar with the bore brush?
No, I've never seen any of these utensils.
I know a bore brush is a brass brush, and they're made in varying sizes. This one is for 38, 357, and 9mm, which fits this revolver just right.
Well, thank you.
So what we'll do is we'll take a pass through the barrel with the bore brush and some solvent on it. A lot of folks will start off oftentimes with instead of using the brush, they'll use a patch eye with a patch to just get some solvent in the barrel. And then we're going to want to do the same thing in each of the cylinders. And so for the cylinders, I'm going to start out with a patch and get some solvent on there. So this is a patch eye, and this is a patch right here. We'll get some solvent on it, and we will get each of the cylinders good dousing with solvent. So what this is doing is it's loosening the carbon and little bits of lead that are in there, because we want to make sure that we get those all cleaned out. So the solvent will take a few minutes to work, so we could just wait, go do something else, or in this case we'll just go ahead and begin cleaning. Now on the cylinder, an important part about cleaning the cylinder is that there's going to be a ring of debris inside the cylinder right at the end of where the cartridge case is. So you see that the cartridge is about that long, and then the bullet takes up the rest of the area. So when you look in there, in the cylinder, right at where the cartridge ends, there's quite a bit of buildup. So the way we get rid of that buildup is we will take our brass brush, our bore brush, and we spend a little extra time, particular time, scrubbing to get that out of there. So we scrub, 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 and then do a visual check to make sure that most of the debris is out of there. And so that's looking pretty good. So that's an important part on cleaning a revolver. And then the next most important part, in my opinion, is making sure that we clean all of the debris that's left between the barrel cylinder gap. So when you close the revolver, there's a gap between the end of the cylinder and the beginning of the barrel, and there's quite a bit of gunk that'll build up in there. So again, we take our brass brush and we scrub, scrub, scrub to get that off there. The initial scrubs, you'll want to use some solvent and use a toothbrush that doesn't explode, if at all possible. But in the event that it explodes, just set it aside and continue to scrub with your brass brush. So once that's all clean, the next thing you're going to want to do is continue to run patches through until they start coming out relatively clean. Now the first thing I'll do is take a patch eye and then run it through to get most of the debris out that results from the revolver soaking with the solvent in the bore. So you run it through, get out most of your gross contaminants there. And then the next thing I like to do is run a jag through with a patch. Now, are you familiar with the jag, Carol?
I am not familiar with any of these utensils.
Okay. Well, the jag gives you a tighter fit with the patch in the barrel. So again, we ran a patch through wet, and allowed it to start soaking. Then we ran the bore brush through the barrel and each of the cylinders, giving particular attention to that portion where the end of the case and the bullet are joined inside the cylinder that had the particular, the buildup that I discussed. So we did that. Then we ran patches through until we got most of the gunk out. And now, as we're starting to get cleaner and cleaner, we'll take this patch, which fits closely to the size of the barrel, and we will run that through to get most of the gunk out there. And then after we've done that, we can keep running patches through until they start coming out clean. Now, once that's done, I usually start with some of the dirtier patches to get the heavier fouling out. And then just start using some clean patches with a little solvent until they start coming out clean. Does that make sense to you, Carol?
That is making sense to me.
Okay, great.
Never knew there was so much involved in cleaning a gun.
Oh yeah. And then for some of the particularly tighter spaces, what I'll do is I'll get a Q-tip and start pulling that through until that starts looking clean. And then if there's an area that a Q-tip can't reach, I'll take a pipe cleaner, like right here where the cylinder feed pawl is. I'll clean some of that out with a pipe cleaner until those start coming out clean. And so that's pretty much it. We start out with solvent to loosen some of the materials. We follow up with a brush to scrub out those harder to get materials. Then we start following up with patches until they come out clean. The final step, once you've got the revolver clean, there's no more black carbon or lead spots that you see anywhere, and everything's turning up pretty dry. We will use just a sparing amount of lubricant on those portions that have where metal comes in contact with metal. So a lot of folks are tempted to overdo it on the lubrication, but any of the gun cleaning oils are appropriate, or lubricating oils. This is Hoppy's No. 9 lubricating oil. We just give it a little dot right there at the cylinder latch, and then activate that a little bit to get the lube down in there. Well, the lubricant in there. Then we use another dot right there. And that's pretty much should do it. After it's been lubed, I'll usually cycle the revolver a few times, cycle the cylinder a few times, and then any excess oil I'll wipe off. So once you're done with that, you can be confident that your revolver is clean, that it will be safe to operate, and that you can depend on it when you need it most.
Thank you so much for this instruction, Cliff. It's most helpful.
My pleasure, Carol. Have a great day.
Thank you.